Hi, we're here at the Ryan Amsterdam for Identity Week 2025. We've just kicked off the keynote presentations, and our first presenter is here with us now. It's Jorissa Neutelings, who's the Chief Digital Officer at ABN AMRO Bank. It's great to speak to you today about customer journeys. How are you enhancing the design of AI-powered mobile systems for the customer experience, but also ensuring trust and security as well?
Yeah, that's not an easy answer to give you. The thing is, with AI, all new challenges come up, and we really have to think how to make sure that the system doesn't go overboard, that the customer still gets great replies, etc. So AI is a whole ball game. And we're currently very active in testing guardrails they hold up. We're already exposing long-tail Gen AI answers to our customers, and also seeing that it holds up. So we're we have quite a detailed out setup to keep it secure. But our main interaction is really focused with our natural persons via our app. And we always say the app is the most safe way to interact with our bank.
And mobile apps are common in banking now. How does the customer want to interact with the app? Do they want a simplified, trustworthy experience?
Yeah, the thing is that what I see, also research shows that the customer becomes more and more lazy. Not necessarily because he is lazy, but he just doesn't have the time to spend on, things next to work and family. And we try to simplify the journeys as much as we can. But sometimes then you come into friction with safety, simplification, and you don't want to have the competition with keeping traffic safe. But the thing is, working with the app, within the app, the customer is already authenticated. So we also use the app to keep other journeys safe, like looking at the phone. We still have quite some people who really like to call the bank. And then we press them and say, you call via the app, because then you're already authenticated, which is even more safe. So what we try to do is to adapt to different customer groups in our company to make sure they have the best and simple experience as we can. But sometimes we have to build in friction for security, like waiting times, savings lock. We have all kind of solutions to keep our customers safe, but also keep banking safe.
What is impacting, the need for hyper-personal and seamless customer experiences?
Well, the thing is that our customers have a growing irritation level when the service is not especially mapped out for him or her. So what you see is that the expectations of the customer grow and grow into, it must be meant for me, it should be personal. And to become a hyper-personal company, you need more and more data to actually look ahead and see what the customer needs. But more data can also become more insecurity. So what we try to do is to be as careful as we can. What data bits do we need to make a more personal bank? And this is really a balance where we have a lot of dilemmas. On the other hand, I was very positive when I saw that we opened up a new services next to banking, personal financial management, where you can see your future, your spending history, but also can get rid of those awful subscriptions that last and last. Within 8 months, we saw almost 1.5 million customers giving their consent to us. So what you see is that you need to become a hyper-personal company. Yes, you need to have your data and your security right, but you also need the customer to work with you. And if your basis brings value, they're also happy and willing to go through the extra security steps. Exactly.
It's an amazing statistic that they've, so many people are willing to share that data and for you to use responsibly.
I was really surprised because in these times where people they don't feel safe anymore, all threats in this world, identity theft, it felt also like a huge compliment. We are a bank and we exist more than 200 years, but we have quite a high trust level. And we really would love to maintain that in an opening up world where, everything gets coupled and you work together with other organizations to build your services. So that was, it was very positive.
Does that show as well that you're staying ahead of those threats, those fraud threats? Is the technology and your approach allowing you to do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing is that within our bank we have a very close cooperation with people involved, like department of our Chief Information Security Officer and our Chief Data Officer, and all specialists combined with our digital operations and transaction operations. We work as as a very in a very close cooperation where we have all specialists involved building our services. And I think that's key. You don't have the department security, you don't have the department digital, because security is part of digital and digital is part of security, and transactions are part of the services as a bank we offer. That combination, making that very strong in the way you build and design all your journeys for customers, I think that's key. And then together we also must crack the code, because we become more and more flexible, more liquid, more everywhere in the ecosystem for our customer. How to secure that? You can only do that when you have a very strict and warm cooperation together.
And outside of your organisation, are you looking at the rest of the digital landscape and aligning with them as well?
Well, it's difficult to align with competition, and I think security is, of course, always something you don't tend to share that much in order to keep it safe. But what we try to do is learn also from others what we see in interaction. So if another bank has a certain security solution, we try to look into, will that help? Can we also use it and improve it? So I'm sorry to say, but one of the larger banks in the Netherlands had a service first where when the bank called the customer, you could check that number in their digital environment if it was actually the bank. We wanted such a service as well. And we build that service as if the bank is calling you, you can look into your ABN AMRO app environment, and then you can ask the caller, can you confirm that it's you? So it's more automated. So what we try to do is be inspired by what we see also around us, and also make an improved user experience around it, but it's only what you see on the service. In the back, there are hundreds of people continually working on security, secure platforms, secure systems. I'm the person on the interaction side, so that's...
At the same time, you're managing customer expectations as well, aren't you?
Yes and no. And I think education is a very important part of keeping everything secure. In many breaches, you see often human error in those breaches. Either it's from the company itself or it is the customer. And we must, from an interaction perspective, we must make sure that the customer can't make those mistakes by educating, but also letting them know, why do you need to wait 4 hours in order to higher your limits for spending your money? And if we explain, then most customers see that as a great service, keeping them safe. But it is a friction, and if you're used in I want it now and directly, it's sometimes really hard to swallow those security measures. And that's where communication and education comes in. So also a very broad part of our work.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for expanding on your presentation and being a keynote speaker today.
You're welcome.
It's great to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.